Good afternoon, boys and girls. Today we're going to do a story called A Chair for Mother. And this story is by Vera B. Williams. What do you do when a fire destroys your home and everything in it? The lucky characters in this story receive food, household goods, even a comforting stuffed animal from loving family, friends, and neighbors. Eventually, they fill a jar and buy a chair. The new chair provides comfort, a sense of home, and a constant reminder of the benefits of working together. Okay, let's get into our story now. And even after our story, we may be able to do a project related to the story, A Chair for My Mother. It takes a long time to fill a jar this big. Every day when my mother comes home from work, I take down the jar. My mama empties all her change from the tips out of her purse for me to count. Then we push all the coins into the jar. Sometimes mama is laughing when she comes home from work. Sometimes she's tired. She falls asleep while I count the money out into piles. Some days she has lots of tips. Some days she only has a little. Then she looks worried. But each evening, every single shiny coin goes into the jar. When we can get a single other coin into the jar, we're going to take out all the money and go and buy a chair. Yes, a chair. A wonderful, beautiful, fat, soft armchair. We will get one covered in velvet with roses all over it. We're going to get the best chair in the whole world. That is because our old chairs burn up. There was a big fire in our other house. All our chairs burned. So did our sofa, and so did everything else. That wasn't such a long time ago. My mother and I were coming home from buying new shoes. I had new sandals. She had new pumps. We were walking to our house from the bus. We were looking at everyone's tulips. She was saying she liked red tulips, and I was saying I liked yellow ones. Then we came to our block. What was left of the house was turned to charcoal and ashes. Our house had caught on fire. We went to stay with my mother's sister, Aunt Ida, and Uncle Sandy. Then we were able to move into the apartment downstairs. We painted the walls yellow. The floors were all shiny, but the rooms were empty. That's the picture of their house as it caught on fire. The family across the street brought a table and 3 kitchen chairs for us. The very old man next door gave us a bed from when his children were little. My other grandpa brought us his beautiful rug. My mother's other sister, Sally, had made us red and white curtains. Everyone clapped when Grandma made a speech. "You are all the kindest people," she said, "and we thank you very, very much. It's lucky we're young and can start all over." And this is a picture of the families giving them new items to use in their home. That was last year, but we still have no sofa and no big chairs. When Mama comes home, her feet hurt. "There is no good place for me to take a load off my feet," she says. When Grandma wants to sit back and hum and cut up potatoes, she has to get as comfortable as she can on a hard kitchen chair. So that is how come Mama brought home the biggest jar she could find at the diner, and all the coins started to go into the jar. Now the jar is too heavy for me to lift down. Uncle Sandy gave me a quarter. He had to boost me up so I could put it in. The jar is getting full. We shopped through 4 furniture stores. We tried out big chairs and smaller ones, high chairs and low chairs, soft chairs and harder chairs. Grandma said she felt like Goldilocks in the 3 Little Bears, trying out all the chairs. Remember that story about the 3 Little Bears trying out all those chairs in that story? Well, that's what they felt like they were doing in the store. Finally, we found the chair we were all dreaming of, and the money in the jar was enough to pay for it. We called Aunt Ada and Uncle Sandy. They came right down in their pickup truck to drive the chair home for us. They knew we couldn't wait for it to be delivered. We sat the chair right beside the window with the red and white curtains. Grandma and Mama and I all sat in it while Aunt Ida took our pictures. Now Grandma sits in it and talks with people going by in the daytime. Mama sits down and watches the news on TV when she comes home from her job. After supper, I sit with her and she can reach right up and turn out the light if I fall asleep in her lap. And that's the end of our story, A Chair for My Mother. Now, let's see if you can answer some questions from this story. Now, when they were in the story, what were they saving for? Who can tell me what they were saving for in this story? This is just a question that I know you can answer. Yes, they saved for a chair. They saved for a chair in this story. And who can tell me how did they save? How did they get the money to buy the chair? Oops, yes, they were saving tips. They were saving tips. And that's how they saved money to get what they wanted. Looks like my little stickies are falling off. We saved the money in a what? What did they save the money in? They saved the money in a jar. Yes, they used a jar, and that's how they kept up with their savings. When they bought it, how did they feel when they bought the chair? They were very happy because they were able to go home and sit in this dream chair that they had, that Mommy could go home when she got off work and rest her feet. Grandma sat in the chair and looked out the window and talked to her friends as they passed by, and everyone enjoyed the chair. They even slept in the chair when they needed to take a nap. Now, that ends our story for today, our KidzLit story, A Chair for My Mother by Vera B. Williams. And if you would like to, you can save money. You can save money, get you a jar and start saving those coins. You may want to buy something one day. We have Mother's Day coming up, so you may want to save some money in a jar or save up something to get your mom for Mother's Day. So you all have a good evening and enjoy your day, the rest of your day. And remember that if you do what is right, right will come back to you. And saving is always a good thing to do. Have a good day, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.